Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is Wheel of Fortune for the Game Boy. This is the only Game Boy version of Wheel of Fortune that I know of, and it's been quite a while since I played a Wheel of Fortune game of any sort on the channel. I actually found out about this one after seeing Kikoskia play it not too long ago, as of the time of this recording. And given that this one came out in 1990, this version, pretty early Game Boy title, only 3 people worked on it if you paid attention to the credits during the copyright screen. And because of that, the music isn't as good, the computer player, not all that smart, the sound is serviceable, but at least you get some sort of handheld version of Wheel of Fortune. You can play with 1 or 2 players. I'm assuming you pass the Game Boy around because... or maybe you do use the Game Link. Not sure. But you can also do 1 player versus computer, and that's what I'm going to do. You get to enter your name with the letters all the way at the bottom. Select with the control pad. Confirm with A. If you need to delete, just select DEL there at the end. You can only put up the 5 letters, though. So, I'm just going to make it Cress and then leave it. And the computer player is just comp. And we have our first puzzle. We're going to press A on spin. And from here, we can move this black square around this little gauge in the middle of the screen. You have your wheel at the top, you have your name and your score, then the gauge for the strength of your spin, and then what value the wheel is currently on. I'm going to move it all the way to maximum. I don't know if I'm going to land on bankrupt or lose turn unless I look at the very bottom. Bankrupt. Though if you look up, it says, looks like it says boo, even though it's B followed by 2 zeros. Yeah, they tried to keep this as simple as possible when it came to programming this game. And the computer will use, or try to guess every letter under the sun while after spinning and trying to guess a continent. Also, selecting your choice feels kind of delayed. Also, I only got 1 R and I landed on 200, so 1 R. For every letter you guess right, that's how many times you get what you landed on the board. Either I have to press the A button like hard or it's delayed. I can't tell. I'll probably be able to check as I play through the game, but nevertheless, I was able to pick the spin option again. I got moo. Well, according to the wheel itself at the top, it says moo, but I really missed a turn, which is supposed to say lose turn. Not sure why that is. Then again, I believe this was developed by IGE. Not IGE, but IJE as well. Who, I'm not sure if they published it or developed it, but I knew they worked on it too. Also, I am not having the best of luck when it comes to this game. I was doing so well when I decided to check it out to see how it was before recording for this. And why did you guess an X? I guess I had to press the A button hard enough to get it to register. But anyway, not sure why the computer guessed X. I'm sticking to RST, LN, and E for now. See if we get anything out of that, and wow, we are just in a dead heat because nothing is going right for either of us. And I know that my commentary is going all over the place. Yeah, this game plays just like the usual Wheel of Fortune. You spin the wheel, you guess continents. Whatever value you landed on, you get that amount of dollars for each time that letter appears in the puzzle. So I spin the wheel. I land on bankrupt. I get bankrupt. Maybe the computer will show us. So we spin the wheel. We land on, say, 100. We guess a letter. If the letter appears, we get $100 for every time that letter appears on the puzzle. So the computer got 2 G's. So the computer just got 200 points or dollars. I know what it is already. And when you have $250, you can buy a vowel. A, E, I, O, or U. Y counts as a continent in this game. And I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel, see what happens. Please give me something that isn't B or M. I will take that. Because there are so few consonants here. And I might as well solve the puzzle. So let's keep pressing right until we get solve. Then we can use the control pad and the A button to select the letters there in the bottom of the screen. And the category is thing. And the answer for this is Bengal tiger. So we have our name down at the bottom, the amount of free spin spaces we have. If we land on free spin and we guess a letter correctly, guess a continent correctly, we can get a free spin. And in case we go bankrupt or lose a turn or pick a wrong letter, we can use one of our free spins if we choose to. You have the score, which is your score for the current round. And the last section shows the last 2 values that both players in the game landed on the last 2 spins. So we got this music playing. While it's playing, the scores are flashing. This shows our cumulative scores throughout the game. And if we press A again, we go to round 2. Category is title. You start round 1. You, the player, start round 1. But in round 2, the computer player starts off. And unlike the first round where we didn't have a lot of letters, we have a lot more here. Okay, let's go ahead and spin. I'm going to keep my gauge all the way to right. Unless you have the wheel memorized, and I mean memorized, there's really not much of a reason to spin at anything besides maximum strength. And now that I have 600, I can go ahead and buy a vowel. So, buy a vowel. Make sure that's in the box. Come on. I guess it is delayed. There we go. We have 5 E's. Now, you spend $250 whenever you buy a vowel, whether the vowel is in the puzzle or not. In case the vowel shows up multiple times, you only spend $250, period. And I know most of this puzzle, but I don't know all of it. I will pick the letters that I do know are in there. And maybe we'll find something out along the way. I know the first 4 words are please don't eat the. But I don't know the rest of... Well, I don't know the last word. Okay. So I'm just going to go with... I'm just going to go with RST, LNE for now. I wonder... if I buy an I... Daisies. Please don't eat the daisies. It's a title to something. Not quite sure, but... well, I pretty much have this thing in the bag now. So, let's go ahead and solve. And from here, we can go ahead and solve the puzzle. I had a lot more money in the practice run to this. Also, again, computer player not too bright. In the practice run for this, I had a completely dominant run. Here, not so much. I want to think that the whole Let's Play curse thing has something to do with it. After the second round, the host spins the wheel. Whatever value we land on, that's what we get for every continent. Consonant, I should say. From here, we just guess letters. Vowels are worth nothing. Consonants are worth whatever the host landed on. So in this case, it's 200. And after you guess a letter correctly, you have a chance to solve the puzzle. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let the timer run out. The timer is up there at the top center of the screen, like it always has been throughout the game. And from here, we just take turns, me and the computer, just guessing letters, and eventually one of us solves it, and then the game is over, and whoever has a higher score wins. Oh, I need to pay attention to the near middle of the screen there and make sure that my name is flashing. That way I know that it is my turn. And I'm just going to let the... I wonder... That is exactly what I think it is. Well, this was an easy one. The category was event. I should have mentioned that the category was event. And I'm going to go ahead and solve the puzzle. Come on. Okay. Truck and tractor pull. Since you don't have a lot of space for the puzzles, I'm guessing, they are going to be simple and they are going to be quick to figure out. At least the ones that I've gotten have. And of course, we have more points compared to the computer's score of 0, which means that we are the winner. And the winner goes on to the final round. From here, we get some music, and then we can use up and down to choose between a couple of prizes. We can go for $25,000, a trip to Hawaii, a Porsche, a cruise on the SS Game Tech, a sailboat, and that's it. I'm going to go for... oh, I can only choose down. I can only choose with down. That's something. I'll go ahead and just scroll to 2,500. And, ooh, only 10 letters? This could be anything. It's always something like this that's always difficult. So we have 5 consonants and 1 vowel to choose. I'm going to do R, S, T, L, N, E. This was before the game really had some longevity. And back when Wheel of Fortune started, you always had 5 consonants and 1 vowel to pick for the final round. And everyone would usually pick RSTLNE because those are the most common letters. That's why I always stuck to it, to those 6 letters, when I started a new puzzle. Later on, you'd get those for free, and then you get 3 continents and a vowel to pick after. And it's been that way ever since. So I picked my RSTLNE. Let's go ahead and pick N. Let's see if anything shows up. Oh dear. Whew. This is no good. Wow. I know. Can I do it in time? A-A-M. I had to think about it, but I pulled it off. Oh, man. And we've won our $25,000. And then the game just kicks us back to the game text screen with the Wheel of Fortune logo on it. And that's it. That's the game. That's Wheel of Fortune for Game Boy. You spin the wheel. You guess consonants. You get points. You build up points to get a higher score. You buy vowels. You solve puzzles. You try to make it through the final round after the first 2. And apparently I have to press B to go back to the title and copyright. But yeah, down there, three people made this game. That's it. So as I was saying, you spin the wheel, you guess continents, you get points for every consonant you guess right in the puzzle, you buy vowels, you solve puzzles, you get through 2 rounds, you get through the final round. If you have more points at the end of the final round, you go on to the final round, you go for a prize, you try to guess the puzzle, and if you get that right, you win the prize that you chose. That is Wheel of Fortune. So, how does this game stack up? Well, graphics are passable and the sound is serviceable, although they didn't quite get all the notes right for the Wheel of Fortune music, what little there is. I want to believe that whoever made this didn't really have the best understanding of how to program a game for the Game Boy yet. I'm guessing it was like, oh, hey, the Game Boy's a thing. We don't have anything Wheel of Fortune related for the Game Boy. We got to make this as soon as possible, which is more than likely what they did. Hence why the music isn't quite what you'd expect. And the computer player does not have the best AI. I think it's down to the game being put out as soon as possible early on in the Game Boy's lifespan, and whoever programmed this game not being fully knowledgeable in how to program for the Game Boy. But at least the basic gameplay works, and I didn't have any problem with that. So that's good. Speaking of the play control, again, I didn't have any problems with it. Though, sometimes picking stuff felt delayed. Like, I had to kind of hold the A button just a little bit just to make sure that I told the game that I wanted to spin. Also had to pay attention sometimes because there is a bit of a delay during the final round where I had to make sure that I was looking at my name to make sure it was flashing. That way I knew that it was my turn. Because while you have a little bit of time between choosing not to solve the puzzle because you don't know everything yet, you don't know all the letters yet, and waiting for the computer player to get their turn, the computer player does just, if they don't solve it, it just goes right to you after they pick a letter, and I had to get used to that a little bit when it came down to the final round. And replay value, your mileage may vary. You may get a little bit of replay value out of it. You may get a little bit of mileage out of it, but there are better versions of the game available. Matter of fact, this game came out this version in particular came out in 1990. So even on NES there were better versions. I mean, there was even the PC Booter version, the old computer version from 1987 from IJE and Share Data, which I grew up with. If I ever find a way to record that and play that, I'm gonna do it. It'll definitely be on the channel if that happens. But it's not bad for the Game Boy. I wish there were other versions of this. And that if there were, they would have been better than this. But this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad for a handheld version of Wheel of Fortune. I mean, you'll more than likely find it for cheap if you're looking for the cartridge. It's worth giving a shot. It's worth looking into, even if it is for only just a couple of minutes. So, this has been Let's Play Wheel of Fortune for the Game Boy. Hopefully I'll be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad, maybe it'll be somewhere in between, who knows. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, thanks for watching, and see you guys later.